So in this video, I want to take you along on a 3-week hunt from November to gun season. So 3 weeks. And show you how I set goals, how those goals change through time, show you my setups, show you where I hunted, and basically let you get inside the mind of the big buck serial killer. You know, and come along with me and see how I think. There's a conservancy property that me and Mario like to hunt. We've been hunting there the last couple seasons, and the way it works is you got to draw for zones and then time periods. So if you want a certain zone, you can draw maybe September or October or November. But if you draw November, there's also a gun season in November, so gun season's a separate draw. And then muzzleloader's a draw, late season's a draw. Well, the unit that we wanted to get, Mario got it in October, and I got it in November. And on the last day that Mario hunted the unit, we had been hearing rumors from a guy hunting next to us, and the next unit over, that he was seeing a very, very large buck. And Mario decided to throw a stand down towards the corner where that guy was seeing the buck, but in our zone. And Mario got eyes on that buck. Mario described it as the biggest buck he'd ever seen, and really described it as a world-class monster. And I was excited because the next day I was starting and I was going to be in there hunting, and I was already looking forward to go after that buck.
My hunt just started. I start November 1st. Today is November 2nd. It's my first day in here. Mario was in here October. He had this zone. And his last day, he got onto a buck down here. The guy that was hunting the zone down from us, he's pretty reliable. And he told us he saw the biggest buck he ever saw in his life right over there. So I'm as far down in my zone as I can go. Mario was hunting back here. I said, dude, you got to cover all the spots. Throw a stand at this area. And he did. And thinking about where that big one might be. And he was sitting just down there a little ways. And the giant got up right over here and was walking around. And there was all kinds of bucks and does in there. Supposed to have really high tines and a lot of mass, but I haven't seen it yet. If it's where it was when Mario was here, it's right there. Mario had it at 75 yards, and it came up this way, and he lost sight of it. Well, there's a bunch of heavy trails that come up onto the mainland here. He did an all-day sit, and he heard a buck dump in here and thrash a tree real heavy, and then he saw that buck right over here after daylight. So I'm thinking this is where it comes up on and off. And if I get a visual in that swamp tonight, tomorrow I'm diving in. We're gonna get her done. Mario saw that buck running around right over there. And it came up here, and he lost sight of it right in here by these tamaracks. And right here in this gap is a heavy trail that comes out right upwind of me. And there's another heavy trail coming in like this. So I'm feeling good. He's right over in those bushes. Just saw him. The big one was going right through that funnel. And the worst part is that's right where I was going to set up. And I grunted at him, and he just stopped. And he stared, and he stared, and he stared. And I tried grunting one more time, and he ran. That buck has been grunted at. I wish I would have set up over there. I was this close to going over there. Man. Right where that island tip there connects with the brush. I knew they'd cross right there. Dang it. I need to move over there tomorrow. Hopefully he comes back.
My goal to start with was to go after this big buck that Mario and the other hunter had seen. But after seeing it, I was second guessing it. To me, it looked like it was a 150 to 160 inch buck, not the 200-inch class monster that I was hoping for. Not that that's a bad buck, but it wasn't what I was thinking. And, you know, it was 200 yards away, so I was kind of thinking, was it my eyes? Or wasn't it? I was pretty confident it was the buck they seen because it came right out of the bedding area where Mario seen it come out the day before. So I was second guessing it.
It's November 3rd. Yesterday I was sitting about 80 yards that way in an observation stand, and I watched a shooter walk right through here. But I tried grunting at him, and he spooked. He did not like that grunt call. And I only did 2 grunts. The first one stopped him. The second one sent him running back where he came from. Kinda wish I never hit the grunt call and just moved over here. But just before he came through, some does got up. And he's probably here because of the does. And Mario hunted back here, I think 3 days ago. And he saw that buck, and that was his last hunt in this unit. Now I'm in here, and I've got company. There's another guy hunting the same buck just over a little bit. So I need to just get aggressive, and it either happens or it don't, because there's another buck, 145-inch 10 on the other side I could fall back on if I don't get this one, but we'll see. It's kind of nuts. This place is just heavy with trails. I had to pick this tree out from over there and then slip in here at 5 in the morning when it's pitch black and slide up a tree before the deer get back. But so far, nothing's moved. Not even a doe has come in here. There's a heavy fog, but I came in here in the black and found my tree. And what I did was, the wind's going this way. I walk straight into the wind, because no matter how I come in here, deer will likely cross my trail and smell me. So by keeping the wind to the nose, it's one scent stream. They don't smell my wind and my ground scent. They're both the same. It's Friday morning, November 4th. I'm hunting the point of the T, the south point. There's a real heavy trail coming through here, and I'm pretty sure it's the trail I saw the big buck on. Nothing's moved so far. I've been out here since an hour before light. Wanted to get in here and get set up real slow and quiet. We need to get a cell cam in this spot and see what's going on right here when I'm not here. That way I don't waste time with more observation sits and hunts. I'm pretty sure this is his main trail, so if we put the cell cam here, we can monitor when he's here, if he's still here. Every deer I saw come through here came through right here, within range of this tree. Just wanted to show you from ground level. This is a lot thicker and deeper than what you'd think. And here's the setup. I got 5 sticks high, and I could probably use the 6th one. I have to really work to get into that tree.
After a few hunts, I was convincing myself that my eyes were probably right. That buck probably wasn't as big as it was described to me. And I decided that if a good buck came along, I was going to go after it and shoot it.
Scouting with the stand on my back, sliding up this edge looking for a hot sign. And right here on the edge of the woods, I jumped a really nice buck with a doe. And they ran off that way. I look up, and right where they were, you know, this is only 10 yards away. Look at this rope. Still bleeding. The tracks are still on her. Because obviously that buck today did that. He's with that doe, and the doe was young, probably last year's fawn. So 1-year-old doe. And they just trotted off the tip. I would be willing to bet that that doe comes back up here. If she does, she should haul him along. He's a good buck. I got a good look at him. He didn't get my wind. I was downwind. He just saw me, so there's a good chance he'll come back. Maybe we can pull off an old bump and dump. The wind's wrong to hunt the big buck back there. So I've got a plan that within the next few days I plan on hunting the Deja Vu buck stand. Had a lot of success there. And because of that, and the wind not being right for my other stand, I thought I would hop the south end, south of the Deja Vu buck, and stack that area. So coming over here and keeping the bucks honest along this perimeter, and then walk the whole perimeter, kicking everything further back until I found something good to hunt. And right here behind me, I jumped a really, really nice 8-pointer, you know, at least a solid 140. I mean, he was heavy. He was with a doe, and they ran that way. And they didn't get my wind. I was downwind of them. They didn't run hard. And when they were gone, I went over and looked, and the buck has a scrape there that he's used the last 2 days. And there was a rub there that's fresh from like within an hour of when I came in and jumped him. It's still bleeding and stuff, and it's a big rub. The doe looked like a small doe, young and inexperienced. And I'm hoping that she comes back and we can do a bump and dump. You know, hopefully she comes back and tows him in with her. So So I better quiet down. I see something moving in the bedding area or in the swamp. So I'm just going to shut down and put the camera back in the rest. We'll see if anything comes out. Yeah, I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but there's some tamaracks in here off of a little point that comes off the point into the watery dogwood. And there's a little high spot there. And when I was talking to you a minute ago, I saw some tines floating through there. That's all I could see. And I'm sure it's that 8-pointer that was just up here. That's where he ran to. So he must be pretty calmed down. It's just a matter of if they come back up here. So keep your antlers crossed. Got a good wind today. It's peak rut November 4th. So on the other side of this, right over there, about 200 yards, I saw that big 8 yesterday. And then we got him on camera just a little over from there. So I know he's living back here somewhere too. It's pretty tore up. So we'll see what happens. Pretty open this time of the year. Hopefully they didn't see me climb the tree. The last buck I killed here, I think he got up under that tamarack tree right there. Ago, I kicked that big 8-pointer up with the doe right over here on this next island over. It's like a point, not an island. And there's a big swamp in between here. And I went all the way around the perimeter, walking along the whole transition where they bed, and hunted it in the back at the Deja Vu stand yesterday. And I could hear grunting and chasing and stuff in there. When I sat over there, when I bumped that buck, I could hear chasing and grunting in here. Yesterday, the camera right here picked up 2 decent bucks following a doe into here. And that doe comes by every day. So if that doe comes back, I think those bucks are going to be with her. I can hear something walking around over there. And I can hear stuff walking around the swamp already. I really had to creep in here. I've really come to the conclusion that if they're running and they're coming in and out of that bedding area, which I know they are, they almost got to be coming through here and then the next funnel over. And I think it's just a matter of hitting them at the right time. We got a camera here, but looking at the sign, I don't think it's catching all the movement. I think a lot of the movement's skirting the camera. So that's been fooling us. But there's a lot of sign on that side too, but I can kind of see what happens over there today when I sit here. I got a really good view. So this is an island. It's about an acre. I'm at the very point of it. It ends right here where these cattails start. There's a swamp over there, real deep, wet swamp that comes up onto a point. There isn't much sign on that point, but that's where that big buck was tending that doe. And he's obviously living right in here. Yesterday I hunted where those big trees are back there. This is where they're all bedding. Hopefully they come right through here.
There was another hunter hunting this unit, and one day after a hunt, he comes to me and he says, and he seems a little rattled, and he says that he saw the biggest buck he's ever seen, and that it came running right up to him, and that he just lost his composure and never got a shot off. And I asked him to describe it, and he described exactly what Mario said. Biggest buck he ever seen. And where he seen it come out of was the backside of where Mario saw it. Now it's 3 against 1. In my eyes, just ain't that good. I decided I'm going to target that buck.
7th, I'm sitting in a little funnel that connects the big swamp over there with a big swamp back there. And right here it gets down to about 20 yards. The big trophy bucks in here are not going up into hardland. They're staying in these swamps. From where this funnel is, over there is another funnel, and they're the only two funnels that come out of that big swamp. I sat that one a couple days ago, and in the evening, and I heard a big one come through here. You could hear him hitting his antlers on the trees. Last night, I didn't get to talk to the camera much because I had constant action from the time I sat in the stand until I left. I sat the south end of the T again, trying to get a visual on this big buck because I think he's in this area. I really wanted to get over here, but that kid was hunting over here yesterday. And over there, I had about a 130 class buck walk under me, and I let him go. And I seen one probably in 140s, tending a doe in here. And there's another one about that big. I could barely see fighting with them. And a whole bunch of small bucks. And it was interesting because the wind was blowing into the big swamp. And one after another, all these deer kept coming. These smaller bucks, sniffing the wind, straight to that doe in heat. And that big buck would send them running back through. But one after another. They must be able to smell that for miles. But I already had one buck come through. I couldn't see him very well. He came out of sloshing out of the cattails, threw past me up there, but nowhere's near me. So, it's still early. We'll see what happens. So I was going to show you what the swamp looks like. There's an island over here, right here, and there's a lake over here, and this little tiny swash of swamp goes through and connects a huge swamp back there to a huge swamp back there. There's an island of timber here, and the bucks go along this edge. All the does and little bucks go up these heavy trails here. But if you notice, the little runs that go through are the ones with the rubs on them. And this is the one I think they're using right here. If you look at that big rub down there, that's a giant. That wasn't there the other day. And this is where I heard that buck go through 2 days ago. Hopefully he comes back. Otherwise we're going to have to dive in for him tonight. A big buck just came through, probably like a 140, 150 class, probably pushing more 150. It was pretty big. Went right through that grass right there. I tried to call him over, but he kind of caught me off guard. Also, I heard the grass going over there, and it's not where I expected him. And he just turned around. He was walking through there. By the time I got the camera on, he was kind of already entering the trees. That's going to wrap up the morning hunt. And all I saw was one little dink come out of the funnel and cut the corner and go up onto the island. And then the big one go across back there. And I heard that deer get up the other morning and come down this way. And my educated guess, he was going through this funnel. But seeing him go back, it's further over. He wasn't with a doe, so I'm confident he's going to come back through here tonight. And I know I could sneak into the head of the trail and kill him. So now I come into the dilemma. Do I want to shoot a 150-inch buck, or do I want to dive in and go after Mr. Big? Pretty sure I could kill that thing. And I keep running into that out here. I can't believe the number of bucks I'm running into. And it seems like when you're onto one, you just keep running into the other stuff. And then there's other times when you just can't buy a buck, right? I think I'm going to get down and do some scouting. I think he's living over there. Nobody's been in over there yet. So, while nobody else is out here to see what I'm doing, I'm going to slide over there and check that out. Alright, I'm checking out the area where I think that big buck's coming from, which is right up here. And the island right here is just full of big scrapes, big tracks, and heavy trails come from every direction up this funnel. I mean, these trails are kind of insane. Look at how heavy they are. And it's just everything scraped and rubbed up right in here. And I think this might even be where that 150 came from too this morning. I mean, this is just insane. This is where the kid said he saw the big one come out of. I mean, look at this. This is nuts. I don't know how far I can get without bumping deer. Mind getting in here and getting a setup though. Look at all this sign. Nobody comes back here either. It's kind of a little overlooked spot. I don't see any fresh ones back here yet that are really huge, but look at this one. And that one by my bow from last year. And there's another huge one on that tree over there. Another one over there in a big tree. Yeah, this one looks kind of fresh here on this leaning tree. This is insane. Okay, for my midday scout, I'm determining that this is where I need to be. I slid in here and set up a stand. Right over there. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of funny. If you look, you can't see my bee sticks, but if you look, you can see the lone wolf stick at the bottom. Plain as day. So, the wind's blowing like this, so I don't want to risk sitting in the stand. But I already came in here and scouted. I already got my scent in here, so I want to hunt it while it's fresh. We moved the email camera to right there, so it covers all the trails coming here. This is an incredible funnel. Pretty sure that 150 came through here yesterday, this morning, and he came back through this way. And the worst part about it is I know exactly where that thing bedded, and I know I could go in there tonight and kill him. But I'm not. I'm sitting over here, where I think my chances are a lot lower, but there's a world-class animal over here. And you gotta be willing to sacrifice a 150 or two in order to take a world-class animal. So, the deer come out of there, it looks like, and over there. And I get this root system blocking me, and there's just a natural hole here, right to the trails. And hopefully they don't spot me and I can arrow through this stuff. There's a couple more trails over there, and I just might have to stand up to shoot. So, wish me luck. Behind me is all nasty, wet swamp that they don't look like they're going through. They're staying right up on the edge of it. Doing the ground game. And the down low, downwind side of the funnel. Be a miracle if I pull this off. It's driving me nuts. Got a 150 right over there I could just go sit on and kill. I hope I get rewarded for this patience. So far the big one's been seen 3 times. First by Mario. Well, actually, 4 times. First by the guy in the next unit. Then Mario went to check it out. He saw it. And then Mario's unit ended the day he saw it. And then I came in the next day and saw it. And then 2 days ago, the kid that's in this unit with me saw it. So, I guess it's worth passing a 150 for, right? Sounds like there's tractors working the fields over where the deer bed. So hopefully they come down the funnel this way. I better be quiet, it's getting to be showtime. Look at that nice natural hole there. This is the swamp where I think they're bedding. And a big one got up over there and came through here the other day. And I think that might be the travel route that they're taking. And I'm gonna try and slip in there. The wind's blowing like this. They should be bedded right there. They should come through like this. I wanna get right there. That's where I've been hearing bucks go through, but I can't quite see them in the brush and the cattails. So I came in here, I had left my stand here, and I'm gonna pull my stand, and I thought I'd climb up here and just take a good look at where I gotta go and what tree I gotta get into. There ain't much over there for trees. I think I'm gonna cut in like that and then come up the deer's trail until I find something real quiet. Something big came out of there the other day, and I could hear his antlers brushing the brush and make some rubs over in there. So there's like a natural funnel of trees there. I just couldn't see them. I'm out in the marsh hunting a big buck that's been going through a little funnel, and sometimes you can't pick the perfect tree, and he's got trails going through like this. I'm standing in a bed. There's a big bed right here, and look what we got for trees out here. I mean, they're all bare naked and stuff. So people are asking how I set up in this stuff. Here's one stick, a stick and a half, and I'm in my stand. I can almost reach my stand from here, and I just have to blend in with a couple sticks and the tree trunk and shoot him when he goes along here or along here. The wind's coming like this, he's bedded right along there, if I'm correct. So this is what I was talking about with the stand. Here's the bed wing. Only the end blade is in the tree. I mean, this tree is really crooked. You wouldn't get any kind of stand in here without a bat wing. You can just see trails going through here everywhere. There's a bed right underneath the tree here that's got a big rub in it. There's a giant fresh rub right over there. Heavy trails coming in from every direction. So we're kind of in the bedding area, but we didn't kick anything coming out, and I think they're a little deeper now with less cover in that stuff over there. And that's where I heard them move yesterday. From right here you can kind of see my setup a little better. The tree stops right here. It's like broken off. I got my bow right here, expecting the deer to come from this way. I got the camera arm here. The seat's right there. And what I do, I'm only 2 sticks high. Only actually 1.5. But I take the seat, and when I sit down, I straddle it like this with my knees. And then I can just slide to my feet and shoot on either side, because I really like to face the incoming deer. From this position, if something with a rack that size gets up, I should be able to see it. When I heard him come through, I heard him aggressively rub a tree right in this area. And I get in here and there's no trees rubbed. I couldn't find anything, but from up in the tree I can see there's a cedar tree right over here that's rubbed. And I got the stand facing away from the deer, and I don't like that. I like to have it facing the deer. So I got the tree in front of me, but because of the lean, and because of the way the branches are in this tree, I had no choice. And I can't be off to the side or they'll see me. brush over here that's out about 80 yards. That's where I think he's bed. This is a little pinch point in the cattails. It's the only place that has a little bit of timber and brush connecting it. Otherwise, it's just solid cattails. He came in from downwind, and as soon as he got where my milkweed was dropping on him, he ran. Okay, I'm in here on the ground. I don't even have a camera arm with me, so I'm not going to get the shot on film if something comes in. But I came in here late. I slid into what I think is the bedding area and found a giant bed that's been used today. I might have kicked the deer out of here. I heard one walking off that way. And where that bed is exactly where Mario said he saw the big one get up. That dead tree there is his marker where he saw the buck appear. That big tree there has the bed underneath it. If I stand up, you can probably see it. There are trails, heavy trails coming from every direction meeting here. You probably kind of see the bed at the base of that tree there. Knee-deep in swamp muck. Trying to ground swat him.
Then out of the blue, Mario contacts me and says he was going over his footage. And lo and behold, he actually got video footage of that buck the day he saw it. And he said he emailed it to me. He didn't realize he had captured it on film, but the camera was running, and the buck got into the footage. I looked at the footage long and hard, and I realized that that's the buck I've been chasing this whole time. The one that keeps going by me. The one I keep seeing and not going over and killing. It was the 150 class, 160 class, somewhere right in there, buck that I really didn't go after because I thought there was this giant dream buck. So now here I sit with a couple days left. And there's a few good bucks running around, but just a couple days. So I decided to go way in the back and go after that 145, 150 inch 10-pointer that I knew was living back there.
Came back here to hunt, and there's a lot of sign. I didn't get where I wanted to go, and there's a lot of grunting and chasing going on over there. I just want to see what's going on. Oh, looks like I got me another one. I was coming back here to go hunting, and I saw some deer running around, so I started sneaking over there, and amongst the deer there was one pretty good sized buck bedded. So it's pretty noisy back here with the leaves and crap. I'm in swamps to get that suction noise too, so I took off my boots and socks, and one step at a time I went into the wind until I got within range, and I had to just get over a little bit to get a shot, and I shot him right in his bed. It was a good poke, but I got him. I saw him run, and he went back down, and he's laying right up here, so he ain't moving. I'm pretty sure he's down. Yeah, he's down.
I was heading back to my stand and where I was going to sit, and I saw a bunch of deer running in front of me, so I started going real slow. And there's a lot of does going back. I didn't see any antlers or anything, but then watching the does, I saw this rack in some grass in the swamp, turning and watching him. And he was only about 50, 60 yards away. So I contemplated what to do, and I didn't feel he was going to go in my direction. And it was real noisy walking in swamp muck and grass and stuff, so I slipped my my boots off, my socks off, and I snuck real slow, a step at a time. And I got to about 25 yards from him and shot him in the bread box. And it was kind of funny because he got up and he only ran about 10, 15 yards and just flopped over. And I got over, I tagged him, and started field dressing him. I found another arrow hole way back in the hams and in the intestines. And it was pretty fresh. I looked around, there was no blood trail or anything. So I field dressed him and I called Mario and told him to get out here. And that was probably about, what,
2:40,
2:30?
2:45, yeah.
Yeah. So then the hunter came along on the trail and said that he was the one who hit it. He said he hit a branch, deflected into the intestines. He only waited 2 hours to track it, so if he would have jumped it, it would have been probably gone. So
Yeah.
I don't know that he got it or not, but I was able to sneak up and get an arrow in it, so maybe. But I was pretty stealthy too. I was really going slow. I contemplated whether or not to give it to him or not, and decided since I already had my tag on and it was field dressed, I kept it. The
Yeah.
guy was real gracious about it. I think if he'd insisted, I'd have just gave it to him. But it's a nice buck, and it's a crazy
Yeah, it is.
hunt like usual.
Yeah, nothing boring.
Yeah, never with me, right? And you know, I just passed bucks like this. Well, not too long ago, because there was a really big one around. But what are we down to? I think we got 4 or 5 days left,
Yeah, 12th of November.
and I got to work next week, so I really got tomorrow. You know, I could have probably took 1 or 2 days off during the week, but it's been rough, and all the deer are pushed way back, so it's hard to do it on a work day.
Right.
I mean, this is about 1 3/4 miles from the truck.
Yep.
And Mario knew this was a heavy deer, so he took his real time about getting here. So I've already dragged this 3/4 of a mile.
I knew he'd make his way to the river.
Yeah, he was hoping I'd get across the river, but I waited at the river for him. All right, let's load it up and get it back. It's gonna be a long night.
All right.
Tell you what, it is freaking cold out here.
What are those old man legs you got there?
Yeah. This is supposed to be bath water when it's in the swamp. It's like ice. This is worse than it looks because there's like no bottom if you step in the wrong spot, and I really don't want to get my pants wet. So I took my pants off.
That spot looked a little deeper.
Yeah. Trying to step on the cattail roots. You punch through, it's literally up to here. That was better than I thought it would be.
Look at that there, Dan. Nice work. That sled comes in handy, that's for sure.
I already had my socks off from stalking. All right, since I'm already wet, I can go carry the stuff across.
All right. Got a nice little moonlight.
This moon.
No, not that moon.
Oh, there's a deep spot. Looks like the deep is right on the edge.
Come on, Danny. We need some good video here.
You just want me to belly flop so you can get it on video.
That's quite the safari shirt you got.
Like that. Did you ever see a pantless guy? No shoes. Carrying a bow through the woods a mile back. Wish that's a first.
That was a first. I think if I saw it, might be as bad as seeing one of those killer clowns. I might walk the other way. Well, at least we don't have to navigate the stump field in the dark.
Yeah, it was shot so early, we're pretty far back already. That's the spot we always get lost in the dark.
Yep. Yeah, that is a deep spot right there. Maybe a guy would lend you a hand if he wasn't filming.
Yeah. Never want to tell you not to film.
That's an inside joke between Dan and I.
Oh. All right.
Well, you know when you receive a text from Dan that 2 old warriors entered the woods and only one's leaving alive, that it's time to get in your truck and drive out to the spot to help drag. This is fun. Now, there was a recent post about sharing in the excitement of your buddy's kill, and I think I was probably more excited getting that text from Dan than when I shot my buck.
2 old warriors met in the swamp today.
Yep.
Only one's coming out alive.
The next day I had to go back and fetch some equipment. So I brought a little gift for Mario.
I really think Mario is about to see a big buck on his trail camera. This is one of those email ones. He's going to get an instant email. It's kind of funny because he sends me texts every time he gets a picture, whether it's a spike, a doe, or anything. He gets so excited. A doe just went by at 2:45. So we'll see what kind of text I get from this one, because I'm pretty sure a big buck is about to walk past his trail camera. I can sense it. You can smell it in the air. A big buck is about to walk past his trail camera. Geez, I think it'll be any second a big buck is going to walk past his trail camera. There it is. See it? Come along.
Yep, world's greatest farter. Proved it.